Hello, Aries. This is a reading for all Aries placements of Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars. My name is Melissa. This is a reading for December 15th through the 31st. However, if this reaches you at a different time, then it's meant for you to see at that time. All of my readings are what I would consider timeless. If you want something that's a little more specific for you, I suggest that you get into the description box below. You'll see different links to my social media. My social media is connected to my physical store, Lady Magdalene's Mercantile. If you want to book a reading for yourself, I'm offering two different readings right now. One is a 20-minute situational reading. That is, if you can't come into the store or do a virtual, I can actually record it for you and send it to you, and it'll have your information on it, so that way you know it's yours. And then the other reading I do is a natal chart reading, where I look at 5 different areas of your natal chart and talk about things that I feel like you need to know so that you can grow forward and live your best possible spiritual life. Okay, so you are showing up as the 8 of Cups, and I do feel like this is, basically telling you need to let go of some things. I feel like you're holding on to some stuff, and in order to fill those empty cups, you need to let go of some things so you can fill it with good things. Coming in as your challenge, we have Temperance. So I feel like it's necessary to tell you that you need to work smarter, not harder. The idea of letting go can be so difficult, especially if we have so many different attachments involved with letting go of things, whether it's physical things, whether it's addictions, or relationships. Things should be in a flow. When we have challenges, it's important to know that you're supposed to learn a lesson from those things, and you're supposed to grow from those things. It's not supposed to set you back, okay? So when you hit these challenges, just know that, okay, what would be the easy thing? If it's something that you've done over and over again, then maybe it's time to stop doing that same thing and move to a different way, have a different response, or react differently, if that makes sense. The root of the problem is the 7 of Pentacles. So it feels a little stagnant. I feel like there's some stagnancy going on here. You're definitely watering the tree and staying rooted, which is good for you, Aries. And it's definitely, you're meant to water the seeds that you've planted, but you also don't want to be a stagnant person. There's a difference between stagnancy and stability, and it's really important to know the difference between the two. In the past, we have the 4 of Swords. So it looks like you've been kind of resting a little bit, kind of recouping. You maybe had some major changes. I mean, who hasn't in the last couple of years? But it's really important to me. This is also a self-care card. So I feel like in the past, you've really kind of honed your skill on, self-care. But again, don't do it too much, okay? We don't want you to be stagnant. In the area of the subconscious, we have the 2 of Swords. So you must be trying to make a really hard decision, and it's one way or the other. You can see she's got the moon there. She's blindfolded. She's got her arms crossed over her heart. There's mountains in the background and water. So all of the elements are there for you to make the choice. Sometimes you just need to make the choice. It doesn't matter which way you go. Either way is going to be the best outcome for you. In the direct future, if no changes are made, we have stagnancy. Yep. So this is a time clock. This is 3 months, 3 years, 3 weeks, 3 days. But to me, this is stagnancy. And when you get stagnant, that's when we get heartbreak, okay? So whatever choice this is, if you don't make the choice, it's going to result in you feeling kind of icky. And we don't want that, right? So King of Wands. So in the area of your personal growth, this is King of Wands. So you're definitely mature. This is Leo, Sag, Aries. So this definitely feels like, your deep down thoughts and your rooted is you're very smart and you're intelligent. And I feel like the choice that you need to make, Aries. I feel like you really do know. You just don't want to admit it. In your surrounding, we have the Queen of Wands. Ooh, we have the King and the Queen of Wands. So I feel like the choice that the people around you are very supportive of who you are and they look up to you. Okay. I do believe you're a leader of some sort. As far as business goes, like, I feel like this is definitely like a nod for you to kind of look at options. I'm not saying you should definitely go right now. That could be the choice that you're making, but people are definitely looking up to you and they're honoring who you are. This could also be someone around you that's super duper supportive in whatever that it is that you do. And I feel like they kind of stoke the flame of you, Aries, which is really awesome. In your hopes and fears, we have the Five of Cups. So again, letting go of certain things so you can fill up the other. And I do feel like the letting go part is just so hard for you. And I feel like it's a deep one. It's an old thing that you're letting go. It's something very old. It's not like something new and trivial. Just know that once those cups tip out, that leaves room for more things for you. But you can see they're kind of mourning, and it's okay to mourn the loss of things. But that's also in your hopes. So maybe you realize, like, in your hopes of like, okay, I've got these two awesome cups. If I could just fill these with more magic, how awesome would that be? Okay. So final outcome. Oh, you're moving on for sure. So if this is, if you're thinking about finding a new job, it's definitely in your favor. I think when you have enough opportunities to really look at what's out there, if you spend your time really looking at what's out there, I think you're going to be very pleased with your next step. This is taking the kids and moving on. So if you're thinking about taking the children and moving on, then maybe you should. Maybe it's moving to a new space. Maybe it's new, moving on to a new lifestyle, right? I love that for you. So let's get a little bit of clarification here for over the Temperance card. I'm sorry, over your first initial card, which was the Seven of Cups. We have the 7, the 5, the 6. Yeah, we've got a lot of cups here. So when we have the 8 of Cups and letting go of something, it's like all of your lessons have been learned, okay? I feel like all the lessons have been learned and you've gotten new ideas from these lessons. And I feel like this is something that helps you kind of continue. Like the lessons that you've learned have been lined up in front of you and you're like, okay, I learned this from that, I learned this from that. Now what else can I learn? I feel like that's really important for you to know. Crossing the Temperance, which was the challenge. You have the 3 of, yeah. You need to work smarter, not harder, okay? Whatever it is, these lessons, like flow. That's all I keep hearing is flow, flow. You need to learn to flow and not be so controlling of things because the control is actually what makes you stagnant. It's what keeps you there. Once you feel like you have control over everything, that's what keeps you stagnant. The 7 of Cups, which is the root of the problem, we have the Magician kind of covering that. So really, I feel like you are the queen of your garden. And again, I feel that work harder, not smarter, and a little bit of controlling. So releasing control is going to be a huge part of this reading. Whether you need to write stuff out, go talk to somebody. Yeah, this feels like, and it also feels like you are a huge manifester, which is coming over the 7 of Pentacles. So you can really manifest whatever money that you want to. So when you're moving on to these different opportunities, make sure that you're really talking about the number that you want. Be very intentional on the number that you want in terms of money. Okay, the Rest and Recoup, we had the 2 of Swords. So in the past when we talked about this, I do feel like this is something like you said what you said and you needed to make a decision and then you were forced to kind of take a decision, which was to step away. And practice some self-care. And I think that was just honoring that you were supposed to do that. You were supposed to step away from some situation and have some time for you. So in your subconscious, you're going to make another decision again, another important one. And we have the Ace of Swords, which tells me that go with a newer choice, okay? The newer choice, the more exciting choice is actually what you should do. I know you're trying to stay stable, but remember, stable and stagnancy is not the same. And it looks like you need to make that new exciting choice rather than the stable and stagnant, if that makes sense. Okay, so in the direct future, if you make no choices, you're getting that stable and stagnant. Ooh, we have the Two of Cups. So I do believe once you make that more exciting choice, this is where you start making karmic relationships. The Two of Cups is all about two people joining together, making this beautiful, harmonious magic, but still being two separate people, being codependent, okay? So I really do think you need to make that jump and transition into some change, okay? Showing up as the King of Wands and Seven of Cups. Yeah, see? So if you're making decisions, you're going to have lots of choices. This is what, what's her name, the Royal Mystic, she calls it the dump truck load of blessings, because it's all the choices for you. Literally anything you could ever want is coming right in front of you, and having the opportunity to have experiences, to make the money, to make the relationships is coming right in front of you if you choose to do so. Queen of Wands. So surrounding you is the Queen of Wands, like I said. King of Pentacles, which means when you start making those choices, you're going to find, hello, Daddy. This is Capricorn energy, Virgo or Taurus energy. Also could be Libra, which would be a really beautiful match for you too, I feel like. Okay, hopes and fears. So we have the Five of Cups with the hopes of fears. Crossing that is the Emperor. That's you. You're in control of your hopes. And this is super controlling behavior, but it's really about doing what's best for you. And I feel like your hopes and fears, you're not choosing what's best for you. You're choosing what's best for everyone else, Aries. I do feel like you need to choose what's best for you and really stand by it, okay? In the future, in the final outcome, we have you're moving on, and we have the Moon. Okay, so this is basically another manifesting card. This is literally the birthplace of where all of your hopes and dreams and feelings come from. So you moving on, you using that feminine energy to move forward so that you can get into the flow like on the boat here, flowing forward, okay? Flow like her looking as a mermaid out across the sea and up to the ocean, and the tides flow in and out. You're really moving into that flow, okay? So final thing here, let's do a little oracle card for you. Do 4 oracles. One for right now. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. So I definitely feel like these decisions that you're making, you need to be a little more learned, right? You need to spend some time really feeling out what it is. And I think that's why we have that 4 of Swords back here. Really spend the time looking at what could improve you, okay? What is good for you? I feel like you should take the time to really see what is out there and what is going to be good for you, okay? We'll do second house of business. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So for your second house, I definitely feel like I said, in the subconscious, and you have to make this new decision. I really, really feel like you want to make this new exciting one that doesn't seem stable like to the rest of the world, but it is going to be stable for you because it's for you. You know what I'm saying? Third house of communication. I'm pulling doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Also, this is green, like the throat chakra. So I want you to make sure that you're very on purpose with your words. When you're talking to people, you need to be really honest about the communication and what's in your heart space, as well as in your intuition, okay? This also means like when you are trying to transfer, like paperwork or anything like that, just make sure it's clear and concise, okay? I just heard I got a spreadsheet for that. All right, and then your 4th house of family. We have empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of the situation. So if you have some familial struggles with some of these new and exciting you for December 15th, just understand that you're seeing it from their perspective, but your perspective is completely different than theirs. Like, they're not seeing what you see, and they don't have to. It's not something for you to honor. You just need to kind of just have some empathy for their worry or distraught, okay? And for the fifth house of family, or not, fifth house of love, last card, peace. I am a being of love and I release all negative energy. Beautiful card. Again, of the throat. So I feel like your words are going to become more loving, and I think that's going to also be a huge factor in all of your relationships. So thank you so much, Aries. I look forward to reading for you again in a couple weeks, and I'll talk to you later. Toodaloo.